starting to feel like millennials are the problem, y'all. When it comes to these holidays and when it comes to just in general, I think we are the problem, and we need to address the fact that we are the problem. The reason why I'm saying that is, I don't know if you saw this, Ben, but there was a conversation that was happening all throughout Thanksgiving week. I'll say I probably saw like Wednesday or Thursday, but people were telling people, don't text me on Thanksgiving.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they're saying, don't text me on Thanksgiving. Don't text me on the holidays. Like, I don't need all of that. And so there was one specific post that said, all right, y'all, and thank you to you and yours, or thank you and to you and yours as well, or something like that. Because, you know, that's what people be saying on Thanksgiving. If you say Happy Thanksgiving, what do you usually respond with?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Right, like you pretty much say Happy Thanksgiving, but you sometimes people say yes and thank you to you and yours as well, right? And so that has become a thing where everybody was sharing this post, and they were like, right, I don't want y'all to text me on Thanksgiving. Like, it's too many text messages. I don't want to have to deal with that. I don't want to right? And I'm looking at this, and I tried to figure out, like, okay, how do I feel about it? Do I care about people sending me Thanksgiving text messages? Because I sure in the heck don't be sending them out like that.
Yeah, you sure only text me back yesterday.
I didn't even respond to him.
Nope.
And the reason why I didn't respond to him was because I was on TikTok Live at the time. But
it was, I guess, way more important than your boy Ben Jammin.
Yeah, because you sent it at like 7, 8 o'clock at night. Like,
whatever.
I'm like, dude, the day over with. We done ate already. I'm full. I'm on my third plate by now.
I'm not even finna get in my feels, bro.
But
let it be.
Anyway, I had to think about it, and I'm like, dang, do I want Thanksgiving text messages? And you know what? I don't know if I do or not. I don't know if I do. I don't know if I care enough to do, because I don't be sending them out. I truly don't. But somebody on Threads yesterday said, and she was a millennial, I'm assuming, but she was on Threads and she said, I got 3 Thanksgiving texts. My mama, she got 62 Thanksgiving texts. And then she goes on to say, I'm so happy to be a part of the burnt out millennial age group. I ain't texting nobody and ain't nobody texting me. Happy Thanksgiving. And that post kind of made me sad a little bit, because why are we parading around and being so exciting and celebrating the fact that we are not having human connection anymore? The fact that we are excited that we're not getting Thanksgiving texts. It seems like we are losing the recipes, you guys. We are losing the recipes, and we are the reason why community is not community anymore. You don't want to hear from your loved ones. You don't know when the last time you're going to hear from your loved ones again, bro. Like, so it's like for people to be like, oh, I don't need no Thanksgiving text messages. Don't even send me no Merry Christmas text messages. Millennials are the problem, y'all. We are the problem, and we are the reason why there is a lack of community. There is a lack of just being connected to someone, and what that even means to have true, real, genuine relationships. It almost comes off as though when you're a millennial, everything is just transactional. Like, you only want to be messing with people based off of, you know, if you need something from them or not. Like, that's the only time you want to hit somebody up. You don't want to go out of your way to talk to them on the holidays. You don't want to go out of your way to catch up with them to see how they're doing. And that's so messed up to me. That is so messed up to me. And also, I do just want to say, I didn't say I hate them. I just said I don't send them. But anyway, I did have to think though, like, dang, how do I feel about them? But after seeing this lady say all of this, I'm like, man, we got issues going on within our generation. But I say all that to say, one of the reasons why I think we have kind of separated from the idea of community is because of social media. I feel like because we see our peers on social media like all day, every day, and we already see their updates, and we feel as though we are already connected with them and we know what's going on with them on a day-to-day, we don't see the need to also send them Thanksgiving text messages, because we can post on our story like, hey y'all, happy Thanksgiving, and whoever see it, that is the text message. Like, that is me saying happy Thanksgiving to you because I put it on my story. But when it comes to our older generations, they are not necessarily always, I don't really know if our older generation really posts like that. So maybe it could be because they don't really see what their friends and family who are in their peer group is doing. So they want to reach out and tell them happy Thanksgiving, to check on the family.
Give a phone call.
And all the other things. Right. And so I just thought that was very interesting. And I wanted to know what you thought about that, because you're a really big like texter of Thanksgiving, of Christmas, of holidays, of birthdays. Like, you do that.
Yeah.
every single time.
So
And you're a millennial.
and I am a millennial, certified millennial. You know, your boy Ben Jim,
Certified
holla at me.
trapper.
Yes, 1992 is the year. No, for real though, you know, I do find this to be very sad. However, you know, given the current climate that we are in, I find it practical. You know, like this isn't something that should, you know, surprise you, given the fact that, you know, everybody today in today's time practices individualism. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just worried about themselves, you know, and then we have other things out there that tell us these types of things and reinforce the idea of individualism, whether it's like telling yourself to, you know, be your own boss, you know, move as you will, you know, I'm going to be me, you know, and just worry about yourself, and giving us the tools to just separate from everybody. Like you said before, Juice, you're spot on with that. The technological advancement has separated us from our families. Like, you know, forget about the fact that, like, you know, I may have a family member who lives in Georgia who's my mom. You know, think about the family that everybody literally lives in the same house, but they all eat in separate rooms. You know what I'm saying? Like, even eating at the dinner table is one of them things where people aren't even doing anymore. So, you know, it's not surprising to me that as people in this generation has grown up to be adults and has grown accustomed to being by themselves that much more, you know, they don't talk to their families as much when it comes down to holidays. Now, I believe that is very sad, because I think holidays is a time for a family to get together. But as we move forward and closer into the future, or whatever, more into the future, we're going to see more of this happen. And this is what, you know, people would say has been socially engineered for us to be doing ever since the 60s. You know, so one day you'll just be able to have your own home, and each and every person in your family will have their own room, and, you know, they will send out, you know, different messages to other people who they deem, you know, worthy of getting the message from them on a holiday and or any other significant day. So it's unfortunate, man, but the breakdown of the family is real. And that's why we need to focus more on family values and family traditions and bring that stuff back. Because if we don't have a community, you only leave Big Brother to control you.
Right. Shout out Venus Jones, who said, I sent out about 15 text messages yesterday, and Sincere said that's the only time I hear from people the most. It is probably the holidays, because it gives you a reason as to why you have to reach out to somebody. But not only are millennials ruining connections with people when it comes to holidays and things like that,
I
but
think it's still just the millennials, though, bro.
I mean, we're part of it.
Okay.
I feel like
I'll
we
agree.
started.
I'll agree.
I feel like millennials was the first generation to be like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Like, I'd
agree.
I'm not doing that. Like,
I ain't going to that job.
I have free will, and with my free will, I'm not gonna send you text messages. Like, just see me on Instagram, see me on Twitter, see me on all of these other social media platforms, on Facebook, and call it a day.
That's
like,
real.
Y'all gonna see my plate, y'all gonna see all this other stuff. I don't have to reach out to you, right? And whatever, that is what they want to do. But not only that, you guys, more millennials, and not even just millennials, but more families in general, are starting to have no contact with their family members.
No contact?
Yes, they're starting to have no contact with their family members.
Like being on probation or something.
Almost.
No trespassing. No contact.
Almost, yeah. So, and shout out to Oprah, because I first saw this idea on Oprah's podcast. I didn't even know Oprah had a podcast, which was crazy. I absolutely love this clip because it reminds me of the Oprah Winfrey Show back in the day. And I'm so glad that she's back doing what she was doing. But she, in one of her podcast episodes, was exploring the idea of the rising trend, I should say, of people going no contact with their family. And not just millennials, but mothers, parents going no contact with their kids. And it's just really crazy. So we have a really short clip that we want to show you from the Instagram post of some of the audience members talking about this and them going no contact.
Contact with my entire family for a year and a half now.
No contact?
No contact.
Not a phone call, not a text, not a nothing?
Nothing.
For a year and a half now. Okay. Chris, how about you?
It's been 4 years since I've had contact with my parents and my siblings.
4 years. Not a word.
Not a word.
Okay. And Kendall?
I've been no contact with my 30-year-old son for 2 years.
By your choice?
By choice.
Okay.
That's crazy. That is crazy, you guys. Now, this woman here, the woman who said that she has been having no contact with her son for how many years did she say?
It
was a lot of years, y'all.
It was multiple years.
They did a little bit of a deeper dive with her story, and she got to talk a little bit more. But she was pretty much saying that her son he stalks her and her husband. Like, he is very abusive. He is giving a bunch of threats out to her, and she has tried as much as she can to want to be in contact with him or whatever, but now at this point she's like, I don't feel safe being in contact with my son. Like, he's asking me for money, and he's like, if you don't give me this money, I'm gonna X, Y, and Z. It's really crazy, right? But she goes on to say that it's crazy that when kids speak out and say that they don't want to be a part of the family, or they're going no contact with their parents, they get put on like they get what's the word I'm looking
like
for?
Ridiculed?
No, like celebrated almost. Like it's open arms whenever kids are like, yeah, I made the choice.
I hate
and
my
I
mom.
made the decision.
I hate my dad.
To not want to be around my family anymore. And people are like, oh yeah, I feel that. Like, I feel the same way. I don't want to be around my parents. I don't want to be around my family. But then when the shoe is on the other foot, and it's the mom or the dad or the parent saying like, yeah, I'm choosing to go no contact with my child because my child is harassing me. My child is threatening me. My child, I dang near need a like protective services from my child. It gets crazy out here. And she said, I'm looked at as a bad mother when I want to do that, because it's like, well, dang, how did you raise him to even be that way? And so all of this makes me really sad, because it seems like we are moving so far away from just the idea of family. And what is that going to look like in the future, y'all? Like 10, 15, 20 years down the line, people are choosing to not be around their families. Who you gonna be around?
They gonna be in the worlds that they want to be in. They gonna have the VR headset, and they gonna make up their own worlds. That's crazy. Yeah, it really is crazy. But that's the power of technology. It's actually ripping us away and stripping us away from our families. That's what this whole marketing idea was for. Is to market to your inner desires, to move you away from the clique, or move you away from your family, move you away from the tribe. So you don't have the hive brain, if you will, thinking anymore. You just have your own singular brain thinking for yourself. And I'm not saying it's bad to think for yourself, but it's bad when you start to disassociate yourself from the group, because ultimately when you start to do that, you weaken yourself.
Do you think that it's fine? Do you think that it's okay for people to think like, okay, I don't need to be around my family, like I'm cool on them, like I'm making the choice to not even be around them anymore because of whatever reasons? Because I just remember back in the day, like if you used to have a problem with your family members or whatever, grandma would be up in there and she would fix all of that. She'd be like, we ain't doing that. Y'all are related, y'all are brothers, y'all are cousins, y'all are whatever, and we're going to fix this right now because blood is thicker than water. You need to always have your family's back.
What'd your grandma make you do when stuff like that happened?
I mean, I don't think we really had that type of situation.
Did you guys have to hug it out or something?
No.
Okay.
I never experienced that, but I've always seen it. Like the Big Mama idea.
I knew you was gonna say Big Mama. I knew you was gonna say Big Mama, bro. Dude, for the reach the soul food.
Soul food. Did y'all not see Soul Food? And I saw just a bunch of different episodes of like different shows too, where the matriarch or whatever it is,
bring everybody together.
They would bring people together. They would make sure that everyone stayed together, that the family stayed together. But now, as millennials are getting older, we don't want to sit in front of the auntie that's gonna criticize how you looking and what your career is doing, and exactly being super judgmental. We don't want to be around the cousins who might have always talked to you crazy as you were growing up, and now you just don't want to deal with it anymore. And we're kind of like, listen, I would rather choose my peace than to be around than to be forced to be around toxicity, you know. And but with that, I just feel like we are separating from each other, and like you said, not having these tribes and not wanting to work on things, and it just makes me sad because I'm like, the future of all of this is gonna be nothing. It's gonna be nothing. And I saw Reggie, not Reggie Smooth's Butter Brown, but Reggie from Streamer. Do you follow the streamer Reggie?
Who be with
Kind Clover House or whatever. He pretty much was saying like, man, ever since my grandma died, like the holidays don't hit the same, because once the matriarch is gone, it's like nobody is getting together no more. Nobody
Somebody
is,
gotta step
you
up.
know, like housing or hosting the Thanksgivings as much as they used to, and it kind of just breaks down and it breaks apart, man.
Yeah.
But that's why we all feel, not we all, but like
I mean,
people feel so lonely today. It's because they aren't connected to nobody, because we don't want to
Facts.
go out of our way to inconvenience ourselves to make things right with your family members, or to, you know, reach out to that friend that you haven't talked to in a while, just because you don't feel like it.
Yeah, not just for real. This is all a byproduct of capitalism, man. It's all a byproduct of capitalism. You know, people marketed it to us, you know, the idea of, you know, moving out at the age of 18, going to go get your own home by the time you're in your early 20s, and just focusing on you as an individual, not the whole unit, you know. And that's where, you know, a lot of this manifests from. And yeah, we can definitely go ahead and say, you know, Big Mama ain't here no more. The matriarch of our family ain't here no more. But if this really what we want, our generation has to step up and fill that void. You know, we got to fill that void, man, because at this point, you know, some of our grandmothers are dead. I mean, luckily, I still have both my grandmothers.
Wow.
My grandfathers are gone. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, when we talk about the millennial generation, a lot of us come from a broken household where we're talking about maybe a single parent household, or maybe not even having parents, you know, and just trying to figure it out on your own. You know, so it's one of these things where, you know, where do we pull these family values from when we haven't even been shown or seen these or had good examples of these family values? You know, when we talk about even having a Thanksgiving dinner, right? Do we even have enough money to get the Thanksgiving dinner together and prepare these days? You know, can I really come over your house and you not look at me crazy because I'm eating too much of the turkey? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but did you contribute, or what are you saying?
I'm saying, look, if this is a family thing, because I come from a family where back in the day when my grandfather was alive, because we all used to go to his crib, and actually, hold up, I'll rewind a little bit more. When my great-grandmother was alive, we all used to go to her house or whatever, way back in the early 90s and stuff, and she basically lived in a whole mansion. She lived in a whole mansion, but at that time, we didn't have to come with anything but ourselves. You know, it was just, hey, come, you're good because you're family, you know, and that's all that was really ever asked of you to be, is just come here, you're family, bro. You got an open door, you know. But now people expect things of you, like, hey, bro, you gonna bring them Doritos, you gonna bring the cheese, you gonna bring this, you gonna bring that,
Because that's also part of family, though.
But I'm not
and
saying,
being in community.
and I'm not saying that you shouldn't bring anything, but what I am saying is when it came down to Big Mama, that matriarch that everybody was talking about, she didn't care who came and sat down at the table as long as you was family. Hell, there's even a lady right now, an older white woman, shout out to her, and a young black man. They formed a relationship for the past like 10 years off of a random text, happy Thanksgiving text or whatever. She invites this dude to her crib each and every Thanksgiving dinner. She is the Big Mama for her family. She didn't care about this black kid not contributing. She told him to pull up. Just pull up. Whatever happened to that? That's love. And I'm not saying that things are for free or they should be for free or you shouldn't come and contribute. But I should think. I beg for you guys to think about what people are contributing as they enter your home. You know, because again, like I said before, your presence can truly be a present. You may be the cousin that comes in and puts smiles on everybody's faces. Shoot, just because the food is done, don't mean that our spirits are full. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of these things that, you know, we need to understand where we at right now. Because if you want to keep going down the rabbit hole of individualism, that one day you're going to be sitting at a dinner table with your VR headset on with your fake family. You know, or you could be living in real life if you start to develop community and sitting yourself around community, you know, and start to build up on those things, especially when we talk about, you know, traditions in the black community, because a lot of us really are moving individually. Some of us are more successful than others. Some of us don't really have much going on. Some of us are, especially right now, are unemployed. You know, black unemployment rate is up, you know, so for men and women. So it's one of these things where what do we do in our communities to make certain that we can actually still have these holidays and keep ourselves together?
I will say that now it's not even just about being individuals. I think what our generation has started to do is to create their own families, and we have decided that
I'm telling you,
like Friendsgiving has been way more popular within the last like 10 years or so than the actual Thanksgiving has.
Yeah.
Like, we want to be able to choose who we surround ourselves with and who we call family, and it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be from your blood family anymore. Even when it comes to just social media, like, we're trying to create these communities online just so we can feel seen and heard and find people in our interests or who have our same interests, so we can be in close proximity to them, because we are kind of or our generation is kind of moving away from the idea of you have to be forced to be around your family.
Right,
Just
breaking
like what
tradition.
Trey Tay said, back then you was kind of forced to fake cool with your family for Big Mama, but Big Mama ain't around no more. So
Right.
now I don't have to fake kick it with you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to fake act like we are cool or anything like that, because why would I do that? That just messes up my mental health when you over here being weird to me. Why you being weird to me? It just doesn't make sense. But Trey Tay also goes on to say, family be your biggest haters. The problem is most families don't want to have the tough conversations. They rather keep skeletons in the closet because most people don't want to be wrong over sustaining relationships.
Mhm.
And you know, I could agree with that. You know, a lot of families don't really have a lot of tough conversations sometimes. But
Right.
I will say that
Be there
that
for the
conflict
fluff.
that you have, like, conflict is what makes the relationship and the bond grow stronger. That's how the
Yeah.
connection gets stronger, and that's how you know you got a real one in your corner, when y'all can go through some things and still be good, or y'all can have conflict and realize, like, oh, I am gonna try to work this conflict out with you and understand your boundaries, and I hope you understand my boundaries, because
Yeah.
I still want to be in community with you, because I appreciate you as a person, and I'm not gonna allow for just this one conflict to make us like split apart and not
Yeah.
be cool. But if you never have those conversations, then you got a lot of resentment in people, and that's
See-
why they end up just ghosting the family or ghosting their friends and trying to move on their own, because they never had the conversation to try to work it out.
And I agree with that, Juice. But at the same time, that perspective is coming from somebody who, and I'm not just saying like you and singling you out or whatever, but I'm talking about the idea of it or whatever. It's coming from somebody who has done some work on themselves to understand what a healthy conversation sounds like when you are having some kind of conflict with somebody that you deem, you know, valuable to you, a friend, a sister, a brother, whomever it may be. It may be your father, your mother, but at the end of the day, if you're able to, you know, conjure that up and develop that mental space to have that conversation, I applaud you. I applaud you, because a lot of people don't actually have that. You know, a lot of people don't even know what they're doing when they're trying to have those conversations. Because, you know, on one end, somebody may be like, you know what, I'm in a healthy mode. I'm going to go ahead and have this conversation with this person because X, Y, and Z I didn't like. But the other person on the receiving end may take it as total disrespect because they've never had those types of conversations before. They've never experienced a loving home before. They never experienced just having that type of tough love, so to speak. They've only had it tough. So, you know, when we talk about these ideas of bringing back the family together and, you know, bringing back these traditions, I would beg for people to have an open heart, an open mind when you are discussing conflict with your friends or having conflict with your family members. Because at the end of the day, sometimes, you know, that may be all that you have. You know what I'm saying? And they may truly have your best interest at heart, even if it doesn't sound like it. I just say try to look at it take it with a grain of salt and keep it moving.
Yeah, no, 100%. Let us know how you guys feel in the chat. We're kind of talking about the fact that people are starting to say, forget my family. I don't need to be around my family.
I
I'm
hate
crazy
my
anyway.
mom.
Y'all
I hate
crazy
my
anyway.
dad. I hate my grandma. That stuff, man. You know, we sing that a lot or whatever. It is funny as hell, Juice. But at the same time, I think the reason why it's funny is because it's so real to so many people out there, though, right? Because some people
No,
truly
that's
do.
just what them white people be doing.
Well, I was going to bring that up too, because one video that I love to watch during Thanksgiving is this video of this white family or whatever chastising their son or whatever, their nephew, whatever may have you. And basically they do a family prayer, and it was like, everybody, let's pray right now for Billy. Billy, you need to find a job. Hopefully Billy finds a job on Monday. And Billy was like, so that's what you're going to do, Dad? You're going to talk crap about me in front of the family like that? You think that makes me feel good about myself? Oh, I hate this family. Ah! And he literally just throws the whole turkey on the ground, throws the pies at his mom, his dad, everybody, like just F everybody. And shout out to the cousin who actually filmed it. Because the white dude goes on and like, and I hope you got this. I hope it stays on Facebook forever. You know, but it's one of these things that some people are, you know, like you said
Yikes.
before, are having a lot of resentment in their hearts for their family, you know, and they allow those things to fester. And at, you know, family gatherings is when things kind of hit the fan. You know, so again, I would suggest for people to have some kind of healthy dialogue in between their family member who may be hurting or may not be hurt or may not even be showing they hurt, you know, but try to find a new way to go about these types of conversations. Because if we're ever going to bring back the family unit, you need to have that tough love conversation.
But that's the crazy part is I don't know what that's going to look like anymore. I think if anything, being around your family is more so going to be around your, what do they say, immediate family, right? Is that like just your, let's say your wife and your kids and your kids or whatever it is. But like they saying, don't be including the cousins, don't be including the aunties, don't be bringing none of them uncles over here. And it's just going to be our family unit by ourselves. And we're going to celebrate and we're going to have traditions and we're going to, you know, do what it is that we want to do to be a family. But people are just choosing peace, y'all. Like people are choosing peace. And I'm not going to say I agree with it. I'm going to say that I understand where people are coming from, but it does worry me for what the future of just like family is gonna look like, you know, if we're just choosing our family members. Because if you don't want to have a tough conversation with your family, I don't know if you'll have tough conversations with anybody at the end of the day, you know, like you want to, I don't know. It's just weird. I just think we're moving further and further away from being around each other.
Nah, I agree.
And it's sad. It's so sad.
It is sad. You know, as I told you, Juice, you know, for these holidays and stuff, right? Like, you know, I grow up in Racine, Wisconsin, grew up in a nice little single parent home. Was used to having, you know, family around for all the holidays, but as I grow older, you know, everybody moved away. My little brother lives in Tennessee. My older brother, he stays in Illinois. My sister, she stays in Georgia. My mom's in Georgia. My other sibling, he's in Minnesota. And my other sister, she's in Texas. So I almost have virtually no family in Racine whatsoever. So around the holidays, I kind of do get a little sad because I'm like, damn, I want to speak with my family at least, you know.
Do you call them?
Yeah.
Or you just send them text messages?
No, I try to call my family. I try to remember to call them or whatever. Like I'll do a FaceTime. Sometimes I do a FaceTime with everybody and stuff. You know, Android can do that, you know. But yeah, that's the type of stuff I try to do just to make certain that we have some kind of tie together.
Right.
You know, because when my mother does pass, you know, it's one of them things where who's going to take up that family mantle, as we said before, you know.
Right.
It is our time now. We are the millennials, and it's time for us to step in those roles. Who's going to make the macaroni and cheese? You know, who house we all coming over to?
And it's like, that's why I said I think it's going to look so different in the future because, like, take me for example. I am just like, I don't be cooking like that, but I made up in my mind yesterday. I said, eventually I'm going to have to learn because eventually when I do have a family, like what I'm going to do, just be taking my whole family over to somebody else's house. That's crazy. That is crazy. But we have more people who aren't. Oh my gosh. And that brings up something else that I'm going to end up saying. But real quick, I want to shout out what SE said. Condolences to your mother passing away a year ago, SE.
God bless her,
But
SE.
she says, my mom passed away a year ago on November 23rd, and there were parts of the family she had beef with. Her beef is not my beef, but some people just want to keep the beef going. It's sad.
That's real.
100% agree with that, SC, and condolences to you on your mother. Christian Muse says, seems like funerals of elders is becoming the family get-togethers and reunions at this point because everybody will come together for the funeral.
Right.
I don't like funerals. I don't be going to them like that. Unless we were like this, I'm just like, ooh.
I really, you know, funerals, I'm not going to say I despise funerals. When I was younger, I really hated funerals because I didn't understand the meaning and the importance behind it. But truthfully, as I started to go to more funerals, I started to develop an appreciation for it because, you know, a funeral is really, at the end of the day, a celebration of somebody's life, you know, and even if the family hasn't seen each other in years, they typically do come together when a member does go away. But imagine the future because of all this individualism happening, nobody shows up to anybody's funerals. It's all just FaceTime.
Yikes.
You know, and then real. I mean, this is real quick, but it's a side note or whatever. The last funeral I did go to was my Uncle Jimmy. May he rest in peace. But when I went to Uncle Jimmy's funeral, man, old people can scare the hell out of you, man. Because
what do you mean?
Bro, because look, okay, my Uncle Jimmy passes away. You know, we do the funeral thing or whatever, and as we head to the repast, bro, there was like a light switch, right, bro? All I saw is an older gentleman, had to be like 85. He just fell. He just fell out of nowhere. I'm up. Somebody else done died. You know what I'm saying? And then as I went to go grab this gentleman, you know, I'm like, hey, man, get up, get up. He was like, get your hand off me. You know, I'm like, damn. So really, what the older people were telling me is like, you can't grab an older person too fast. You know, you might actually really break his arm now. And I'm like, damn, like getting old is not fun, bro. It's not fun. But that was just a little side note, though, you know. So when it comes down to your elders, respect your elders, man, and just try to get some wisdom from them because they got some wisdom to give to you. You know, especially if we're going to roll into these, step into these roles, as we were just saying before, being big mama, you know, being papa, you know, and figuring out who house we going over for the holidays. Because although we didn't just did Thanksgiving, we have another holiday in the next month that we all got to get together for all over again.
Well, that's the thing, though. Thanksgiving is more so for all the family and friends, and Christmas is more so you kicking it in your house. I don't think people really go over each other's houses on Christmas like that.
It depends if people cooking, though. Like, if folks is cooking, then yes, we definitely finna pull over to your crib for the Christmas joint. Even for all, like, me and my friends, you know, we typically pull up for each other's cribs for Christmas.
Oh,
So,
really?
Oh, for sure.
That's
for
interesting.
Sure. Yep.
But yeah, I usually have seen that just be like a immediate family thing, like where they have the matching pajamas and they just be opening the gifts, and then the mama be in a robe looking like with her little coffee, like, yeah, I got that for you. Or Santa left something nice for you under the tree. Like, it was just really cool.
See, and that's what a lot of people doing today is they Christmas shopping because it's Black Friday.
Man, forget Black Friday. Ain't nobody worried about that. Sincere
Maybe
said
people
you
too
gotta
woke.
start today, Noni, and not wait until that time comes. You'll be overwhelmed trying when that time comes as far as cooking and stuff. And I
Yeah.
agree with that. That's why I made up in my mind within the next few years here, I'm gonna just try to like
Next few
make-
years, bro. So
Yeah.
you're not even taking this man advice. You
No,
like in the
I
next
am.
few
I'm
years.
just saying the
You
apartment.
can go home today.
No, because I'm saying the apartment that I'm
Okay.
in, I don't like cooking in the apartment that I'm
That's
in.
real.
So eventually
Okay.
when I move out of whatever apartment I'm in, because I'm not about to be having no ventilation up in that space trying to make turkeys and stuff like that. But I think I should practice throughout the year.
You should
So
definitely
I should practice a couple times making some candy yams, and then practice
Start
a couple
on Sundays.
times making some macaroni and cheese, or
Yeah.
practice making
Yeah.
a full turkey
Yeah.
instead of like trying to do it all
Yeah.
on one day. But like
Yeah.
throughout the year, I should be practicing different sides.
So
and the
you ready for the
greens
big
and all that.
day.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And tried a couple times. So once I tried one time, I'm like, I didn't like that. Maybe I need to switch it up, until I can perfect it, and then I can show my spread of lovely meals that
Is that my
I
boy
know
DJ
how
Brother
to
Z?
prepare. But yeah, it is.
Hey.
Shout out DJ Brother Z. Happy
Hey,
Thanksgiving,
good morning.
Zach.
Yeah,
Happy
yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I texted him yesterday. He hit me back. I don't know why you couldn't.
I was on TikTok Live, which you should have been on TikTok Live.
Are you a
helping me
child?
out,
Are you a
'cause
child or
we
something?
was having a good time on TikTok Live, you guys. But yeah, I'm gonna save that
Crazy.
other comment I was gonna make for my sip to that, because we got to get into sip to that.
Well, I just want Friday. I do want to say though, cheat code, just in case you want to celebrate and throw your own Thanksgiving dinner early before you start learning how to cook. Just hire somebody to cook for you. Hire somebody or get somebody to cook a whole meal for you, and then invite people over and be like, "Oh, look, y'all, this is what I cooked."
That's part of what my sip to that is. So be quiet.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Because I know people who have done that. My dad,
Can
before
you
he passed
stop
away,
talking?
he did that.
If I say I'm gonna you can bring up your point once I bring up my sip to that.
But it's not my sip to that.
But I'm saying you respond with your story.
Okay.
Save it. Save it, save it, save it. Okay?
Can we hear a word from our sponsors?
Hear a word from the sponsors, because up next we got Sip to That
Friday!
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm thick cut bacon sizzling on your stove. And while you were over there smearing your bagel, this little piggy went on a splatter spree. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, you'll be crying wee, wee, wee over this fire in your home. So get Allstate.
Contact Milwaukee Allstate agent Cindy Johnson today at 414-445-2558.
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
And we're back.
Yeah, Zach said, don't be sending me that text next year.
See, Zach, you're
I
part
don't
of the problem,
I
bro.
don't like getting those texts.
You part of the problem. You practicing
Why, Zach?
individualism. That's
Why-
what you're practicing.
Why you don't like getting the text? How was your Thanksgiving, actually? Because I know we
Straight
used
up.
to have your Thanksgiving. We talked about your pink fluff you would have at your
Oh, that
family
is true. You used
thing.
to have that pink fluff.
Yeah.
I ain't never
still
taste
want to
that
try
pink
that
fluff.
one day.
I don't want none of them parts. None of that.
But it is Sip to That
Friday!
where we are going to tell you what we are sipping on, sipping for, or sipping to this weekend, you guys. It's a special holiday weekend, and there's a lot to be sipping to for today. But we also want you guys to tell us what y'all are sipping to, sipping for, or sipping on for this weekend as well in the YouTube comments. All right? Good morning, Miss Anita Nicole. Happy Sip to That Friday!
Okay.
Let us know what y'all are sipping on, sipping to, or sipping for. You want to go
Alright.
first?
Ladies first.
Why you be doing that to me?
Step into the mic, Caroline.
I know. I just wanted to step back for a second. Why you doing that to me?
Because, bro, you had so much stuff to say for your sip to that Friday. You cut mines off.
Zach, you didn't go to your family's house?
Okay,
See,
now we need to interview you, bro.
This is why we're talking
You
about
had
this
Chinese
today.
food, bro. That's what
I
you
ain't gonna lie,
had,
Chinese food be cracking.
bro. Look, and I will put this out there. Like this is just a life hack for anybody if it's Thanksgiving or if it's New Year's Eve or even if it's Christmas and you have nothing to eat. I am telling you, a Chinese restaurant is open somewhere close to you. All right, all the other restaurants could be closed, but the Chinese restaurants will be open.
Okay. All
At
right.
least till
Well,
10 p.m.
I guess I'll go first since one of my sip to that's had to do with what we were just talking about when it comes to cooking and all the other things. Because something that I had saw on my timeline over Thanksgiving and leading up to Thanksgiving was a post from someone who pretty much was saying that, listen, this year I invited all of my family over and especially the women. I told them, listen, you don't need to cook today. You can rest and enjoy yourself. I got catering. So people are now starting to get catering for their Thanksgiving meals, and they're telling the women who usually do cook the Thanksgiving meals, they're telling them, you deserve a rest day too. You deserve to relax too. You don't need to be slaving in a kitchen, doing what you do and providing for all of us. You deserve to chill out as well. So instead of that, I'm just going to get it catered. Because what? I'm just going to get it catered. And while I like that idea, and that is right up my alley as a microwave wife, as my dad calls me.
Microwave wife, damn.
as much as I love that idea, and it looks like that would be something I would do in the future. I don't know if I think it's the best, bro. Because I'm always talking about how we're losing recipes, bro. And if we all just stop cooking and say, oh, let's just spend this Thanksgiving just around family and not worried about the cooking and let's get it catered, I just feel like we're losing the plot, bro.
Paying for convenience.
We're losing the plot because a lot happens in them Thanksgiving kitchens. You know what I'm saying? In them night befores.
It does.
A lot of conversations happen. A lot of bonding happens. A lot of recipes get passed down. That's happening. A lot of just family love and communal time that and love put into that food. Like our grandmas loved cooking for us. Like Corey Granny loves cooking some food. Okay, she had 2 big old pans of dressing.
I love that.
Okay, she was cooking like she was
stayed
about
up all
to,
night for that.
like she was about to feed 3 families. 4, 5, 6 families, made like 3 different desserts, had the German chocolate cake, had the pound cake, had the sweet potato pie.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
And loves to look at you eat it and be like, what do you think?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what's going on?
I guarantee you, Corey's grandmother is one of them grandmothers who really don't care who comes up to the to the dinner table, as long as you come out.
Exactly.
Show some love.
And Corey was
That's
telling
what we
me,
need, man.
he was like, man, like she comes from a really big family. And so her and her sisters used to have like competitions. Like, I got the best mac and cheese. No, I got the best mac and cheese. And they would literally cook
That just makes everything better.
And kind of, be like, nah, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about, how does this taste? And I just don't think we do that anymore. Like, we look at cooking as a chore. Speaking for myself, I look at cooking as a chore. It's not about the love being put in it for the flavor and the enjoyment of like feeding your family and making sure that like just a labor of love, pretty much is what I'm saying. And
that's what I get out of it.
I see people talking and having these conversations of having these catered Thanksgivings, and I just don't know if I could get jiggy with it, even as a millennial woman who don't cook like that. I want to learn. I guess that's my thing, is I want to eventually know how to do these things. Eventually.
Just do it, bro.
I don't mind. That I could see myself doing at least 1 or 2 catered Thanksgivings, but like if that becomes the norm, where everybody or all the millennial women just stop cooking and we just getting everything catered all the time because we want to relax and chill, I don't know if that would be the best for our families.
Boo.
So that was one of my sip to that's, because I was just like, man, what do y'all think of that? Like catered Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, we're losing the plot to me.
No, I believe we are losing the plot because ultimately, y'all, and you could take this bar from your boy Benjamin, but like, look, if you are paying for convenience, anytime you're paying for convenience, just know that you're losing a skill.
Right.
Every time you pay for some kind of convenience, you're losing some kind of skill at the same
Facts.
time. That's the trade-off in that. So ultimately, if you guys want some catered Thanksgiving meals, just know that 10 years, 20 years down the road, the next generation of your lineage won't know how to make that macaroni and cheese that grandma used to make. You know what I'm saying? They
Yep.
won't know how to make them greens or even know the process of how long it takes to really make some good greens.
Or the secret ingredients.
The secret ingredients.
Like the ones where the grandma would be like, you got to be family to know what I put up in this.
A little nutmeg. But how much though? You know what I'm saying? And then grandma laugh.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know about that, baby.
Everybody Thanksgiving food gonna taste the same because we getting it over here from I ain't gonna name no names, but we getting over here from the barbecue joint up the block. It's like
Pulling up the Golden Corral, grabbing the catering.
terrible. Now I get, and I'm all for everybody getting some rest days and everybody relaxing from time to time, but I just know that when it came to the women of the older generation before us, they look forward sometimes to I don't want to say slaving in the kitchen, but they just look forward to giving that labor of love to their family, whom they love so much.
And as people do talk about love languages, cooking food for your family household is typically one of those ones that's on the higher ups. Because as you said, Juice, cooking food for your family, the enjoyment, especially for myself, it's not even just about me liking the food and loving the food that I make. It's really just like, hey, seeing a nice smile on my girl's face or whomever I may cook for, being like, damn, like, what you think of that, fam? And he's like, damn, that's good, bro.
You be like that when I ate your soup.
Yeah, I was geeked because, like, bro, it really takes time to make and prepare a meal for somebody and then for them to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And then for it to actually be a nice meal where it makes them feel good about themselves. For me, it makes me just feel good about me. Like, man, like I put something positive out there into the world for somebody else to enjoy.
Right.
The highest act of mankind is, service to the next.
Right.
So shout out to all the big mamas out there who slaved in the kitchen. I guess I'll save my sips to that Friday. But yeah, and I do want to throw this out there though too, because it is about the cater meal thing. I remember my dad did do a cater meal one time, but me, my brother and sister, we didn't know, so we all pulled up to his crib. We like, damn, Dad, you threw down this year. Ooh, he turned around, had his apron on, he was proud. Yeah, I did. I did.
Not to find out he had a cater.
Facts. After he had passed away, I met up with one of his little honey dips or whatever, probably like 3-4 months ago. Cause she wanted to beat me and stuff. Chopped it up with her, and she was like, yeah, that Thanksgiving dinner that your daddy had, that picture right there? Yeah, I actually came through the night before. And made the greens and dressed in this stuff. And I was like, damn, you made that, but I'm sorry you made him a happy man too.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
Shout out to my daddy, man. Happy Thanksgiving in heaven.
Yes. Miss Anita Nicole said, every bone in my body hurts this morning, but the smile I put on everyone's face yesterday was worth it. People will be eating for days.
There we go.
Let me get a plate. I know you be throwing down.
Anita Nicole, I need something.
I know for a fact you be throwing it down. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna eventually do what people telling me to do.
Yeah, just learn a little bit, man. You don't got to cook a whole thing, because honestly, cooking a Thanksgiving dinner is a lot. Like,
bro, it's a
bit much.
It's time.
Bro, I honestly, I did one time. I did like a Thanksgiving dinner where I was like inviting people over and stuff, bro. I made a whole turkey, made the dressing, made candy yams, made greens. What else did I make? A ham. Like I did the whole nine, bro. Oh, and some dessert too. Made like a cake and some pies and stuff. And I'm like, whew. My mama really was, putting in a lot of work. And by the end of the day, I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to talk to nobody. People coming to the crib with their kids and stuff over here like, hey, can you take your ass in there and make your own plate? All right, I ain't serving nobody. But
Yikes.
at the same time though, it made me happy to know that everybody enjoyed my food.
I remember when I was on my health kick, when we was back at the old place and Jason was there and I was eating something I had made and everybody was like, dang, that smelled good. What is it? I honestly don't remember what it was. I would have to go back to the tape. But I let Jason try some and he said it was fire and that made me so happy.
That's
I was
what I'm
like,
saying, bro.
yes.
It's that transfer of energy, bro.
I be
that
knowing what I'm
love.
doing when I need to know how. Because I can do basic things. It's like the stuff with a bunch of ingredients, that's what I don't know how to do. Like I could make some little I don't remember.
I mean, I've had your salmon before. I remember you making salmon.
Did you like it?
I did like your salmon.
See?
It wasn't bad at all.
I could do some stuff. It just be the big stuff. Like I can't even think of something big right now because I don't really eat nothing big because, you know, when I'm in the gym and stuff, I'm very calculated with what I eat. But regardless of all of that, you guys, Thanksgiving's a good time. And so I'm excited for next year to maybe potentially surprise people.
Oh my God. Why are you doing that, bro?
What?
Maybe potentially. It sounds like it's never happening. Maybe potentially Ben's dropping an album. Like,
yeah.
what?
Well, yeah.
What?
So now you know. So now you know how it feels.
She ain't never cooking in that kitchen, boy.
Hey, it is what it is.
It's all love, though.
I feel like it was something else I was gonna say about Thanksgiving before I moved on, but whatever. Cater Thanksgivings, it is what it is. But I'm gonna move on to the next thing that I wanted to do for my sip to that
Friday.
And it's a video that I saw of this mom. She's like an influencer mom. And she has this daughter that's like 6 years old, right? Or 7.
Damn.
No, she's 6 or 7. One of the 6, 7. She's 6 or 7. I'm not going to say no names because I still respect her as a mother. But she did something that she posted over the
I didn't see
break.
none of this.
Yeah, I didn't send it to you because it was a sip to that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just something I saw and it was just on my mind that I want to complain about. But pretty much she was twerking in this video. And she had her daughter, like her and her daughter was going back, like in competition day near, like twerking.
Having a twerk off?
Yes, they were having a twerk off, you guys. And the mom she's like a millennial. And the daughter, like I said,
Here you go, millennial generation.
Is like 7 years old.
6'7".
And she was like having a twerk off pretty much. And then the caption said something like, oh, this is just 2 Caribbean girls like having some fun or something like that. Because I guess she's from the Caribbean or whatever. Pretty much trying to say like, this is what we do. Like Caribbean girls, we be twerking. Like it's in our blood. Even when we're like younger, this is just what we do. So like whatever. Don't judge me. Judge your own mama. You know what I'm saying? But I saw that, and in the comments, it was a lot of people like praising this idea of what was going on. And I'm telling you, this 7-year-old was going hard, like twerking her little butt. And I felt some type of way because I thought it was inappropriate. I'm not gonna lie to you. To have a 7-year-old on the internet and you post it, like if you're gonna do that at your crib, whatever. But the fact that you know you have influence and the fact that people watch you and know you and your daughter because y'all be getting brand deals off of your daughter, why would you post her twerking? It's so many creeps out there and so many weirdos. And then it's like, what are you necessarily teaching her? And I understand you're trying to say that's part of your culture, right, that y'all dance heritage. A lot, y'all be twerking a lot and doing the things, but I just wouldn't have posted it. And so there was a comment under that video saying like, hey, I don't think you should post this of your daughter, and people were attacking that commenter, and they were like, you need to be quiet, like this ain't your kid, you don't know what you're talking about, they're not even doing nothing wrong.
It was all the 69 guys.
Why are you looking at it like this is something negative? They're just having fun. And then the rest of the comments was them like praising the mom and praising the daughter, saying like, oh, this is so fun, I can't wait to have a daughter of my own, like y'all make me want to have a daughter of my own. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, where are we at in society where we're bigging up the idea of a 7-year-old twerking in front of a bunch of strangers on the internet? Like, yeah. And like hyping it up and praising it. That's so weird to me. And it's so sad. It is so sad. And then when you try to call it out because you want to be a part of a community, you know, because they say it takes a village, and you call it out, and then it's like, you need to be quiet. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not raising her. Like, shut up.
Right.
How I end up getting attacked?
You know, because I could see it from both vantage points, Juice, because on one end, especially if I was a father, I'm not a father, but if I saw some young girl out there about to make some video and she's about to twerk and put it on TikTok, because actually, you know, to be honest with you, my girl's younger sister one time it came over, and she may have been like 7, 8 years old at the time. TikTok still
7, 8,
right? But she's around that age or whatever, and she's not understanding TikTok or anything like that. She's just looking at it as some kind of toy. I remember she had like literally had just got out the shower or whatever, had put on her clothes, and you know she started to try to dance in front of the TikTok video, you know, to make her TikTok video. I told her put that thing down immediately, you know, because it's one of these things where, as you just said, Juice, there are a lot of different sick, sinister people out there who would like to watch that video, download the video, and now they got some, child porn or something alluding to that. On the opposite end, I see that this mother may have just been trying to, have a moment with her daughter by twerking or whatever, or they're doing a little dance off. But where I would draw the line at is, everything's not meant for the internet.
Exactly.
It's not meant for the internet. It's not meant for everybody's eyes. It's kind of like, personally me, I miss having a family album book, the family photo album book, where you take the picture or you take the picture, whatever, you put it in a nice little binder or whatever, if you will, and you keep that memory there. Nowadays you take a picture or you do a video, it has to get uploaded to the internet, and the internet is everybody's photo album now, where they go back and look at their memories. But all those things aren't for, the internet. Like, I know every parent probably has some kind of photo of their, son and or daughter taking their first bath. You know what I'm saying? Like the bathtub pic. But these bathtub pics now are going on Facebook. Now they're going on Instagram. Like, it's weird as hell. So you guys need to set some boundaries on what you decide to post and what's acceptable to post and what's not acceptable to post. And that young girl twerking is not acceptable to post. Share all the memories you guys want together in your house.
Everything is not for public consumption.
Yeah.
Like, even if y'all did take the picture in that photo book, you had to be a very special person to even be in my house to look through the photo book. Like, you wasn't just some random person off of the street able to go through my private photos to see my family and all of that stuff. But now we do post it on the internet for likes, views, money, and
ain't nothing sacred no more.
And it is weird, and it's like the mom did the splits and everything, and the daughter, she ended up doing the splits because she looked at her mom like, oh no, I'm finna one up you, girl. And people in the comments were making it seem like, well, this is women's empowerment, and this is the liberal woman, and this is the new day and age where we're teaching our daughters that if you want to dance, you can dance. And it's just, I don't agree with it. I think it can be very weird, but even when you want to try to reach out and help somebody, you can't necessarily, because they could take what you're trying to say as a critique and turn it into you getting bashed, and now you're the bully and the villain when you're just trying to protect the mom and protect her daughter.
It goes down to the conversations
because we're so young, we don't realize what we're doing. Like, we are young parents, and well, not we, but she's a young parent, and in this digital age, thinking that this is fine. If somebody is giving you some wisdom or some words of advice, you should think to take it. Like, everything isn't meant to try to bash you and say you're an unfit mother, but it definitely is something that you should just take into consideration.
As we said before, Juice, it's hard to identify a healthy conversation if you've never been through that before. We said that earlier, and that's exactly what ends up happening on a lot of these different forums, if you will, when people are going through news feeds, commenting on things, and you may say, hey man, I don't think you should have your daughter up there twerking. They didn't read it, right? They didn't read it, and they're like, what you mean I shouldn't have my daughter up here twerking? You know what I'm saying? Why are you yelling at me? They reading your text though, but they think you yelling at them.
Right.
So now they took your text out of context. So it's just,
we can't give nobody feedback no more, because now all of a sudden you a hater.
You're a hater immediately. Get off my gram. I don't have to see. Get off my feed. I don't have to see your negative comments. And they will deem you negative. But it's just one of these things where we're at a weird point right now on what is acceptable in society and what's not, and I just feel bad for these kids that are growing up right now, because they will never ever, as far as technology goes or whatever, they will never ever be able to live throughout the tenure of their life without having some kind of digital footprint. There are kids right now who have been born into this, IG society, if you will, and from the time they're 0 to the time they die, their whole life will be documented to some degree.
And who's to say they even want that?
For sure,
like,
what I'm saying? I asked for this.
They can't even choose that for themselves right now.
It's normalized.
When they are in their teenage years, or even they're grown now, and they're going to be looking back, or could look back like, dang, I didn't even want to be on the internet like this, mom, but you out here putting me on here twerking in my little shorts.
Yeah,
and
it's
now,
embarrassing. I can't get a job now.
It's weird. It's just crazy, and it's weird.
I can't get a job. My job looked up when I was 6 years old twerking on the internet.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, we don't understand, or we don't even think about the future. You know, we only think about now. We
The
only think
present
about the
time.
present. And we don't know what that's going to look like in 10 to 15 years when now she's in her 20s and people keep bringing up this video of her twerking.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird.
I ain't even gonna lie, Juice. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, Juicy Jammers. Look, if you would have rolled my life back to being like 4 or 5 years old, you would have called young Benjamin twerking. You know, you would have called me doing popping and all them types of things because my older sister taught me how to do so. You know, I would have been out here doing them things, but at the same time, good thing I didn't grow up in an era where, you know, camera was readily available as it is today. You know, so y'all it might be a video of me twerking out there right now at the age of 5 years old. You know, and it's one of these things, like I said before, you could talk to this new generation and tell them, you know, that there was once a time where everything wasn't recorded, and they probably wouldn't even believe you.
Yeah,
you know, because it's so normalized for everything to be recorded.
It's
taking
just the
a
way
picture
of the world.
It's the way of the world now, but it wasn't always like this. I was born before cameras were everywhere, you know. So.
100%. But that was my sip to that
Friday! Woo!
That was my sip to that Friday, y'all.
I like it, man.
I feel like I always have some sort of like rant about something I saw on the internet for my sip to that because I'd be so upset with people's choices.
You got to get it off your chest, man. You got to get your brain squeezed. You know what I'm saying? You got to do it. You got to do it, man. But with that being said,
You got a lot?
No, not really.
Oh.
I really don't. Shoot. What time is
That's
it?
why you want me to go first. No, I'm kidding.
What? Well, no, I already knew what I was going to
I'm
say.
just kidding.
You funny as hell, bro. You know, honestly, for real, my first sip to that Friday is actually shout out to my baby, shout out to my girl, man.
Hey, girl.
I want to sip to her.
Hey, bae.
Because yeah, bae yesterday when it came down to Thanksgiving, right, and we were talking about these Thanksgiving recipes, getting lost, all this stuff, right. So I was going through my whole entire life. My whole entire life, one of my favorite desserts is a lemon meringue pie. It's a lemon meringue pie made by my mama, okay? Made by my mama. My mom makes the best lemon meringue pie. A few years ago, my girl was like, hey, Mama Dukes. Hey, Mama Dukes, can I sit in the kitchen with you and learn this lemon meringue pie? Your boy love it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know how to make his favorite pie. I don't want, the recipe to go away. Because my sister, although she is cooked in the kitchen with my mom each and every day, anytime they did Thanksgiving, she never cared for the cooking idea. She's like, I'm not a cook. I'm not ever trying to cook. I don't want to cook, But my girl was like, nah, if it's going to be my man, I'm finna figure out how to make my man his favorite pie. So my girl made my favorite pie last night. And it was actually better than my mom's.
Ooh.
It's better than my mama's. Okay, but it's really good. It's really good, a lemon meringue pie. We hunted down the vanilla wafers that you need for it, got all the lemons that you need for it, even found the last two, it's like this milk extract, condensed milk. That's what it is, some condensed milk. We found the last 2 cans at Woodman's together, okay? And so it was meant to be for me to have my lemon meringue pie. But thank you, bae. That's really
Thanks,
my sip to
bae.
that. Yeah, thank you so much. She made it, stayed up late last night to make certain that it could be done and finished. And I enjoyed it. Shoot, I'm still finna go home and enjoy more of that pie. So,
I don't know if I've ever had one of those.
Oh, well, you want a slice?
No, y'all all the way in Racine.
That's true. That's true. And probably, honestly, by the end of the day, it won't be there no more. Because I'm gonna smash that.
But yeah,
joint.
I don't think I've ever had one of those.
Very
sounds
good.
really good.
It's nice and sweet. But I love it though. But honestly, that's really my slip to that Friday. Oh, hold on. Before I do this, before we go, I just want to say, thank you to everybody who's ever been a part of my life. Thank you to Carrie No.
You should drop a juice or what?
Well, I'm just throwing it out there. It's a sip to that. Thank you to God. Thank you to my mom. Thank you to everybody, man. And that's really what Thanksgiving for me is about, man. Just being thankful for everything and everybody who's been around you. That's why I send out my texts, to make certain that I'm, even if I haven't talked to you all year round, I at least did something to let you know that you were on my mind, because again, as we talked about the individualism happening here in America, you don't even know what that one text may have done for that person in that day. They may have had no family hit them up the whole time, but that one text is saying, "Hey, happy Thanksgiving! Shout out to you and your loved ones." That might have got them through a day that they were, really hurting. So
very true.
Yeah, man. But I'm just thankful for you guys. Thank you to the Juicy Jammers, man, and thank you guys for supporting us, man, for real. Because you guys know the stuff that has happened to us in our career, and you guys are still sticking around, staying strong with us, and that's why we're happy to give you guys a special Black Friday episode. Because I know you ain't getting it nowhere else. So without further ado. Happy, that is my sip to that Friday!
Let us know what sipping on, sipping 4, sipping 2 in the chat. We are about to wrap up the show with a
Go,
bow, giving
go.
you our drop of juice. And I actually have like a drop of juice that I want to give y'all that's important for something tomorrow. All right. So make sure you guys keep it locked here. We are going to take a pause for the cause for about 30 seconds and hear a word from our lovely sponsors at Allstate.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm thick cut bacon sizzling on your stove. And while you were over there smearing your bagel, this little piggy went on a splatter spree. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, you'll be crying wee, wee, wee over this fire in your home. So get Allstate.
Contact Milwaukee Allstate agent Cindy Johnson today at 414-445-2558.
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
On the internet now. That's crazy.
Hey, you know.
And we're back.
We're back, y'all.
As Ben wanted to show you his twerk lessons from his sister when he was younger.
That was AI.
Definitely was
That's all you got to say in the future. Though, like, man, that was AI, man.
No, hopefully it will get regulated. All right, you guys. So it's time for our drop of juice today on this lovely Friday. It's been a crazy week.
Kawanda said, "Stop, Ben."
Yeah, he's out here wilding, y'all. But with these last few minutes, that I do want to just give my drop of juice. I'm gonna be hosting or moderating an event tomorrow.
Okay, now talk
Shout
to
out
us.
to my friend Joy. Who plugged me in with this because her brother Joel Boyd, he has worked with Netflix, he's worked with HBO, he has just done all the things in the comedy world and just the directing world and the writing world and all of the different worlds. But he is back in here in Milwaukee. He's from Milwaukee, born and raised, after going out in the world doing all the things. But he's having an event tomorrow called, really, we're just premiering the short film called The Hype, you guys. It's his short film that he created called The Hype. And I'm going to be moderating the 10-15 minute talk back that he's doing with the audience, but it is also a holiday fundraiser because they are celebrating the 50th year of the MLK Scholarship Fund, which Joel was a recipient of back in the day. All right, so the ticket purchases are going to a great cause. It's going to our youth, and like I said in one of my posts, we talk about the youth all the time, right? So just come on out. It's going to be fun. Joel's going to be doing some stand-up comedy. He's really funny. There's going to be some raffle tickets and light refreshments, and they're going to be doing all the things outside of just us having the first Milwaukee premiere actually of the short film The Hype, which I got to see early, and I actually like it. It's about 17 minutes. It doesn't run too long, but it's going to be a good time. It's going to be fun for all of your aspiring film producers or comedians or just people who want to be in the writing industry, movie industry, film industry. I think it'll be beneficial for you guys to come to this event. So for more information, you can visit I'm Over the Hype on Instagram to come out. But it's at 6 p.m. It's at the Exchange tomorrow on November 29th. So make sure you guys come out for that. Your girl will be there. But also for my drop of juice, we are getting a snowstorm tomorrow, y'all. Yes, we're getting a snowstorm. Did you know, Ben?
Okay. So
did you or did you not?
Well, I did know, and it's just one of these things that, like, living in Wisconsin, like, you know how people talk about PTSD. All right, I feel like this is one of the moments. I didn't even want to bring it up.
I bring it up. Gotta let the people know.
But damn, like, come on now. And they said 6 to 10 inches. That is a lot. So if you've lived in Wisconsin the majority of your life, just know that it's going to basically be snowing all day tomorrow. All right, for us to get
up until like Sunday morning.
Yep, all day tomorrow. If we getting 6 to 10 inches, that's a snow all day.
Yeah.
So definitely get your shovels out.
Get your salt.
Yeah, get your salt together. If you
go grocery shopping early.
Actually, that is a life hack right there.
Like go Saturday morning or something, y'all, before it gets too bad, because y'all are not gonna want to go anytime after on Saturday unless you're coming to see me do this talk back of the film. And then Sunday, when everything's getting cleared up, you're not gonna want to deal with that. So just go early Saturday and call it a day, so you at least have your food for this coming up week. But I did just want to throw that out there because our first big snowstorm, I know Racine saw some snow like a week or two ago that was pretty heavy that you had told me.
Yeah, that was like 2 weeks
but
ago.
we're potentially going to get 6 to 10 inches. I'm hoping it's one of those things where they lying. Or not they lying, but they be wrong.
I hope they lie.
And we be like, what happened? It was supposed to be a bunch of snow. But it don't look like it. It look like it's actually about to be turned up out there.
I'm not going to lie. I do have a vision. You know, I have a vision for the great state of Wisconsin. And although we may get a few inches of snow tomorrow, I think it's going to be cleared up by Monday.
Oh, yeah, of course, by Monday. Like, you mean it's not melted? What do you mean by cleared up?
I think it's going to be cleared up by Monday. Like, I don't think that we're going to have a crazy snow winter this year. Like, I don't think we're going to get that much snowfall. I think if we do, it'll be around, you know, like late January. It'll really happen. But right now in December, I think that how the weather has been is what we're going to see more of. That's just my opinion. You know, I'm not, I don't work for the Weather Channel at all, but I've been more correct than them sometimes.
No, but
Typically.
I mean, maybe. Who knows? Wishful thinking. I know it's really cold outside, so just bundle up. Shout out Miss Anina Cole, who said, I'm sipping on this remote fireplace diffuser, leftovers, and throw cover, and I can't wait to get my black butt home so I can go to the gym. Maybe I might go to the gym right now.
Throw cover
and
though.
Then eat some leftovers and go about my business.
You eat
go about my
leftovers?
day. Yeah, I love me some good. I'm leftover quick. As a future microwave wife, y'all, I love me a good leftover because I don't have to cook. I can have food for 3 days, 4 days. People will actually sue me for how long I might keep some food. Be like, no, this still good. And then I eat it up.
I really do not
Eat it up.
I really do not trust people. Right. But I don't trust people who don't eat leftovers though. I really do not,
Zach
man.
not eat leftovers?
Yeah, I think he one of them, man. Like, come on now, fam. Like, you need to eat leftovers. A lot of times, you may cook a dish the first day, but that second day is when all the seasons and everything are marinated. So, like, come on now, eat them leftovers, bro.
It tastes really good.
Make
so
a turkey
as
sandwich
a
or something. I got them
person
now.
who don't like to cook like that, leftovers are my best friend. I
Yeah.
love me a good leftover. So I'm about to have me a ball. I hope y'all have a ball. Have a great weekend. Okay, let's put our theme music on. There we go. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tapping into Jammin' With Juice today. Let's do it again on Monday. You know where to find us, right here on Jammin' With Juice, 7 a.m., you guys. Okay, it's Jammin' With Juice, baby. I'm your girl, Naughty Juice, always keeping it juicy. Shout out to Ben
But it's time to get the money, bro.
It's amazing.
You can't act funny about the money, yo.
Have fun for the rest of the day, y'all. Enjoy the day off, or when you get home and have a safe weekend. All the things, you guys. I run out of stuff
gotta
to say.
feed them kids.
All the things.
Jammin' With Juice. Y'all know what the business is. What? I said, what? It's Jammin' With Juice. Y'all know what the business is. Yeah.
Now sip on that. Have a great rest of your day, y'all.
Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday. Happy holidays.
Is that right?
Tell someone you love them today.
Okay.
Send your baby mama some money today.
Send your baby daddy some money today.
Whatever. Bye. See y'all. Lord willing. Bye. Be safe.